Good morning, everyone. We're here. We're going to speak about the Bim Covid, which is a new software developed by CIPE and Bim Server Center. The aim of this webinar is to show a brief demonstration of how we can use it for the redesign of our spaces in order to adapt to the new regulations for a more protective spaces against the spread of the virus. You have any questions? Let's just try to hold them for the end, and at the end of the presentation, I will try to answer them all during maybe 5-10 minutes. I will try to answer all your questions. Okay, thank you. So first of all, I'm gonna briefly explain you a little bit the program of this webinar. So the first 10 minutes, they're gonna be an introduction of Bim Server Center, what is Bim Server Center, and what is CIPE, and how can we use it, what are the main functionalities, and all the potential that there is to explore. Next, I will speak briefly about the workflow. 5 minutes only to connect it to the app that it concerns us, the Bim Covid. The workflow is pretty important because you can connect it through 2D drawings, but also through 3D and Bim drawings or models. And finally, I will leave a few minutes to answer the questions that all the people that are attending this webinar might have. Okay. First of all, let's speak about CIPE. CIPE, it is a big company. It is located in Spain, but we also have a presence in a lot of countries actually. We have 37 years of experience and 170 employees and more than 100,000 users spread all over the world. We have a lot of customers in Spain, of course, in Italy, France, in South America too, but also in parts of Africa or Europe. So it is a quite, and the company is the main function, well, the only function is to develop software for engineering and construction specialists. Now, Bim Server Center. Bim Server Center is the main the main tool that CIPE has put into the market. It is a multi-tool basically, where you can find a lot of apps, more than 130 apps, and you can do all kind of specialist parts of the building. You can do the structures of the building, but also energy analysis, acoustic analysis, project documentation, cost estimations, installations, plumbing. You can do many things. Here we can see an image of one building that you can find in the website, but there are many like this, where they have developed the different engineers and specialists. They have developed the HVAC installation, the structure, the furniture, also the electrical systems, the water equipment, everything that has to match together into a building. Because basically, for all of you that doesn't know anything about Bim, Bim is basically this: is the combination in a coordinated manner of all the specialists that work in a building and synchronize them all into the same model in order to improve the collaboration and to reduce mistakes in the future. Here we can see what in the Bim Server Center website, the 6th tab is the store. In the store, you can find the Bim Covid that is free. So, some of the applications that Bim Server Center has are not free because they are they are focused on professionals, so some of them are not free, but in that case, the application that concerns us is completely free. So you can just download it and explore. And there are many others that they are also free. And here it is a video of one common building that some users, one team of users has developed. And there we can see the protection, the collective protection for the construction site, all the structure also, and all the installations. You can see the plumbing and the water tank. And finally, it is the layer, the BIM layer developed by the COVID-19 software, where you can see in red where there is not enough interpersonal safety space of the bricklayers or of the workers in the construction site. And then that's the workflow in order to participate with this software. You have to understand that first you have to have a building, of course, and that building can be made in 2D or CAD, a building or a retail shop or a restaurant. And this, so basically you have a 2D drawing that can also be an image, can also be a JPG or an AutoCAD drawing, and then directly you can import it straight away to this app. It's very easy process. We will see in that webinar this flow of work, this workflow, because it's probably the one that is really basic, and it's important to have it very clear. But there is also a very potential workflow that is working with 3D and BIM models, the IFC standard. The second workflow is through the IF Builder, which is also a free app that you can find in BIM Server Center. And there is also a third workflow where you can use all the softwares in the market, the 3D and BIM software like SketchUp, Revit, Archicad, Allplan, all of them, and connect it to the BIM Server Center with this app, which is called IFC Uploader. This app is also free. And then once you have already the model, the 3D model inside the BIM Server Center, you only have to connect it and to develop the model that you require for the protection against the virus, the COVID-19 virus. Now let's jump into the website and see how it looks. So basically, you only have to write in Google BIM Server Center in Google, and then it will jump into this landing page. Here you see some tabs, and you can change the language here at the top and right corner to English. There is also quite an interesting video here. If you press this presentation video, it will show you a quick overview of what the platform does. But we don't have time for this, and it is not the aim of this webinar, but I recommend you to just click here and explore it. And in a very brief way, the website, the platform, what it does is to develop open BIM projects. Also to connect to other professionals, like a sort of LinkedIn, but specialized in BIM, building information modeling, but also to download specialized applications. Applications for specialists, for engineers and architects or construction managers, in order to develop successfully a BIM project. And here you can see the number of users that there are registered at the moment, and the projects and the applications, which is impressive, the number. And now, once you can register here, but because I'm already registered, I only have to put my password and I will access inside the website. In the left top corner, you see the control panel, where you see the projects, the contacts, and the store. Let's jump straight into the store part. In the store part, as I explained before, there are many apps. There are 132 apps. A lot of them are free. Some of them are free. You can see the number of downloads. Some of them are not free. And I don't have time to explain you all of them, of course, but I highly recommend you to go check it and explore according to your workflow and the specialty that you have as a professional. Now let's download the COVID-19 app. So you just type the name here in the name, and then you just click the app and download it. The download process will download two different apps. This one is Bim Server Sync that you have to install. It's very important. It is the app that will make sure that all your files are synchronized with the cloud, with the Bim Server Center cloud. And the second app is this one, and you have to install it in a normal process and fine. Once you already have installed it, here on the right bottom corner, here you see Bim Server Center. If I double click, you will have to register, to log in here with your username. And I have it here, a lot of projects that I've been working on. Probably you will have it empty, but it's fine. It's important to have it with this green check. And then the app that this webinar is all about, the Open Bim COVID-19. So you go into the app, double click, and then you open it. Here I have an open project, a technical school. I'm going to show you briefly the main parts of the app. At the top, we have the toolbar where you can find all the commands and tools that you might need to use in the project. Edit, elements, calculation, those are the protective elements that you use for the protection against the virus, the spaces, and this is a list of the elements that they have been placed in the project. On the left part, we have all the views in the project, the 3D view, and the different floor plans, first floor, second floor, third floor, and roof. And in the main part, we have the view of the building. Finally, on the right and top corner, you see the connection, the synchronized connection with the Bim Server Center. You only have to click export, and then the whole model will be exported. I'm going to just, here I've clicked this option here to just enable the space part. I will click it off so we can see a little bit more clear the building. So if I zoom in, I can see that in that project there's already all the furniture and all the architecture of the building has already been 3D modeled in Bim. We see also the people that will be using the building, the students and the teachers, and also the corridors, the paths that they have to take in order to enter all the classrooms. So basically, we have here a little bit the floor plan of the building. If we click Shift and the middle button of the mouse, we will orbit. We orbit, we see the same part of the building in 3D. You see here that this person is cut, right? In order to, this is because the vision range of the third floor, that we are now located in the third floor, but in the axonometric view. If we double click here on the left, we double click, we see the level of the third floor, but we can also change the distance, the range, the top part of the range vision. So I will just increase it a little bit, 2.5 from the elevation level, and 0.4 to the bottom part range vision. And then here at the bottom part, we see the layers of the file. So here we see the architectural model, but also the furniture in the building. We can just click it and click it off in order to, if we don't want to see this layer, we just have to click it off. This is very important because if we work in a BIM model, there might be maybe 20 layers, like all the installations for plumbing, sanitary systems, the sprinklers for fire design, and sometimes in order to work, we will have to click them off to enable them in order to have a cleaner view. So I've already changed the top range vision of this project. And now we are, it's taking a little bit of time, but it's fine. It is a very big project with a lot of 100 of square meters. So it will take a little bit of time, but well, I can explain now. So now the top part vision has been increased. So there we can also see in the model, see that each person has an interpersonal safety distance. This is this blue circle all around it. The program will calculate with this button over here, where there is some classes between the two different interpersonal safety distances, in order to check and to assure that there is enough distance between the occupants of the building. Then also you can see these red panels over there. There are the separators. These separators, they can be used to increase the occupancy of the building, because then they can limit a little bit the distance, the interpersonal safety distance. Okay, so well, this is the same as all the software. We can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel of the mouse, and well, this is basically it. And then in here, in these part projects, we see the list of all the elements placed in the project. For instance, in spaces, we see the list of all the rooms that this school has, and we can edit them. We can see the height of the room, the maximum capacity. We can click this option and say, okay, I want the room 140 to have a maximum capacity of maybe 10 students. So I can just check that, and then the software will automatically calculate with this calculation button whether we have exceed the number of occupants in that room. Then, well, in people, we see all the coordinates, and also each of the person and people that they have been placed in the project. If we double click, we can see if there's a woman, if they have a mask, if it is seated, and also the interpersonal safety distance, that we can change that according to the requirements, because in every country this might change slightly, and according to the use and according to the business, this might differ a little bit. So that is why you have to, the technician and the designer has to modify those parameters, because those will affect the calculations. And here the same. So you have the list of the separators, the list of we also have here in the, we can place bins, reception desks. Also there you can see there is a hydroalcoholic gels, and signs and everything. Is basically all the things that you might need in order to protect. And this button, those two buttons here are very important. The first one, you can input the maximum capacity in every room of the building. So we can just limit the capacity. Also, we control the interpersonal safety distance of all the occupants in the building, and also the separation between the people and the itineraries. It's very important because with this wheel here, we control all the general parameters of the whole building, of all the occupants in the building. And there, in this little cube here, we will go to the 3D view. Now we are gonna see the whole building with all the beam layers placed together. So here we see the building, and over there on the left we can check the different layers that there are in the building. So if I put the architectural model in transparent, we see what is going on inside the building. I can easily enable it, and then I will see the building without the architectural model. This is important because at this building has only 3 layers: the architectural model, but also furniture, and also the layer for the COVID-19. But in many cases, we might have maybe 20 layers here, because the building has sprinkler, has plumbing, has water systems, has many construction elements that they have to be coordinated, all of them, in the BIM model. So it's very useful to work in that way. And some options here is to cut the building in the Z axis. So I can just check and explore the building. But let's now jump and start a project from the scratch. In this, we click here on the left part. We just change the floor element, and in this button here we change the projection. So we see the different projection of the element. And then okay, so I'm gonna do a quick demonstration of one restaurant, starting the restaurant using the flow number 1. So I will make I will design the protection elements using a 2D drawing, a CAD drawing. I will click new, and then browse. This is where I want to save the building. I will just place it in here in this folder, demos, and I will just put it here. Okay, so it's like this. Okay. And then we'll just make a new folder. Okay, save, accept. I'm going to create a new project. We can also select already 3D model building and just connect it with this option. This will be the number flow, the flow 2 and 3. If we select project, we will be selecting already a 3D and BIM model and connect it with with the Open Bim COVID-19 app. But I'm going to start it from scratch. I will just place this type, say some options, visible, and I will say that it's open to collaborations. Accept and finish. And now it's open in the building. It's creating the new project. Okay, so now we can see that we have an empty canvas. In order to import the two DWG file, the AutoCAD file, we have to click here, this button in the top right corner there, and then click plus. Then I have already prepared this file, ground floor for the restaurant. It is a restaurant and an outdoor space. So I will click accept, and here I can see the CAD drawing I have. It's just a very simple restaurant. Here it is in Spanish, but I can just click off the furniture and all the layers in the file. I can also, with this button here, the red and black arrow, I can adapt the scale of the building and the origin point. So here the building is located, the origin in this corner, in the left bottom corner, which I think is great. But I will be also able to change that. I can also change the visible area of the building with this option here. I can change the origin of the template, and I can adjust the scale of the template. So if I made a mistake in the AutoCAD, I can also here correct the scale. I can adapt it. I can click 2 points and type the distance between those 2 points, and automatically the software will scale the CAD drawing. And we can also do it manually in X and Y, but it's a little bit more difficult. The same can be said about the raster files, GPG files. It can be worked out in the same way as AutoCAD files, so it's really simple. And once we already have the loaded CAD drawing, we can also, in this button there, this one here, we can click it, so we will be able to see it in the white canvas. So now I click in the 3D view, and I see how I have already the project is already, the AutoCAD drawing is placed in the model. So I can now start placing my elements. I'm gonna place a waitress that it will have a mask, it will have a interpersonal space of 0.75. So 0.75 plus 0.75 over the person in front, it will make 1.5. The interpersonal safety distance that is considered appropriate in Spain, but this might differ in some countries. I click accept, and I just add this. I will just put the person standing. I select to place the person in this 2D mode. So like this. So we have here the waitress with the mask, and the blue circle is the interpersonal space. I'm gonna place a few chefs, just one chef, of course, with the mask also. Over here, I can change this with these arrows here. I change the direction, and I can even rotate it, I say, for 45 degrees. Okay, great, like this. I'm also able to if I click it and I click this arrow, I can just rotate it there like this. So we've seen the chef, and this might be the chef assistant. So with this pencil here, I will just click it and write a chef assistant. Okay, so I'm gonna place quickly a few customers that there are seated in the customer inside. So seated with no mask because they are eating, and then I will place them in the 0.4 because they have to be seated. So it's a little bit like this. I'll just check. Okay, fine. And then I'm placing a few guys there, and this one here. And now I'm gonna place a woman, of course, over there. So the woman is here, and then this woman is there. This is the couple, and here this one. And now I will also place some girls. So a few girls here. This is a family that they are dining together after COVID. Of course, it's normal because everyone, and then there's a boy over here. So this is some friends. I will place a boy there and a girl here. Okay. So we have a waitress, chef, maybe also I can place in the bar a few guys. Well, and I can do the same thing in the outside part. At the moment, I haven't placed it, and I don't have the architecture model because I wanted to start a project from the scratch. So I don't have the 3D model, but this means that I don't have to have it. I can just start from a very simple process. But another option is to have all the furniture and all the 3D model. This is also fine, and it works in the same way. So once already I have a few guys here, I can just calculate, and then, well, and then if I click this button here, check errors, the system will change the color in red to all those guys that they don't meet the requirements. So we will have to act. We have to create some measurements. Okay, these guys here, this is a kind of a mistake because they are a family. So I can assign them in a group. I will just change the name and say family 1. With this pencil, I can edit them. I will just change this name from family 1, family 1, and then from family 1. This is the family 2. They are also another family, so I will put those names and then group them together. Family 2, family 2, family 2 here, and then family 2. Okay, so I group them together in these guys, family 1, family 1, family 1 are going to be a group of family 1 group, and I place them in yellow. Is the color, and then I will also create another group, family 2 group, which is this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Accept, and then the color I forgot. Then we'll place this color is fine. Okay, I will also now if I click this one and then show this button here, I can see the groups that they are created. So this group lives together. So the requirements they are exceptional. So they don't have to meet the interpersonal space. And also this group and these guys, there are a couple too. So I will just group them together because they live together or they are flatmates or so flatmate. And then it's also another flatmate. And I click here, I can just place those two together. Okay. I forgot to put the name here. Flatmate 1. And the option is I will maybe this color here. Yeah. If I click here, you see they have another different color. And now this is a small bar. So in order to fit more people here, what I will have is to divide. So I'm going to place separators, 2 meters high, fine, and they will be hanging from the ceiling. So we'll just place like here and one there. Okay. So this interpersonal space, whenever I will calculate, you will see later on, they are not gonna. I'm not gonna get errors because the separator is already doing the job properly. And now I will place a few reception points. Well, one reception point here, in order so everyone that enters the restaurant, they have to wash their hands. I will place hydroalcoholic gel. And 2. I will place some gloves, a mask of gloves. So if they can really use the gloves, they can just use them. And once you enter the restaurant, there will be also some signs. I'm going to place a sign that if they can't, they should wear mask. Make it 0.3, a little bit smaller. So here, and then also gloves. Okay, and then I will hand wash this mandatory, and I can indicate that they should keep the interpersonal space. And I have other type of signs if they should avoid touching their face or this kind of things. Now, if I orbit, I can see the things that I've placed. So the mask and the hydroalcoholic gel and that. And now finally, I'm gonna design the the main path that I want my customers to follow. First of all, I'm gonna create a line. So whenever they have to wait, they have to respect the interpersonal space. So I've created a line with the 1 meter distance, and then the customers, if I do customer outside, with the mask, okay, I can click here, this button here, so they respect the distance, fine, and I will continue with the itinerary. So I will just, now once they enter the restaurant, they don't have to respect the path. So I will just something like this. And they enter the kitchen. Now this is I can just say that this is the line for the toilet. So I make some marks also, and I can place here how they enter the toilet. For instance, this is a very basic path of how I want my customers to move around, so they will minimize they will try to maximize the protection against the COVID-19, which is the final aim of this, of all of us at the end. I will also, I forgot to place a beam. I will just place a beam at the entrance. That in Spain it is mandatory. I will place here, for instance. Okay, so now we already have the 3D model, a quick, brief 3D model of all the things that I've made. So I can just calculate it. I'll just put it here and click this button here, calculation. And in a few minutes, I can see if there was an improvement of the security factors with the separators I've made and this distancing, if everything is all right. So now I can see now if I click this button again that most of them are in green, which is fine. But those 3 of them are red. So maybe I will have to either tell them that this table is only for families or for groups, or maybe I will have to remove the furniture or kind of act according to it. I can also leave it like that and know that I might have a focus for the spread of the virus here. But this, at the end of the day, this is a software for aiding, especially public buildings with schools, auditoriums, airports. It's really useful. I just saw a restaurant because it was an easy model, but we can also use all kind of buildings, and it can be really useful in order to control the new normality, as they call it, the design of the path and where to place the furniture and how to divide the spaces in order to guarantee the protection for the virus. Okay, so once we have that, I can just click here, export, and I will export it into the Bim Server Center. And I can give it a name. This is very useful because imagine if we will have here a completed 3D model with all the walls, the windows, the plumbing systems and everything, I can easily connect with this option too. This model at the moment is empty because we only wanted to have a very fast way of adapting the design that we had to the new post-pandemic architecture. But it can work in the same way in a BIM model. So I think with that, I have already finished the presentations. I will show you how it will look if we have the building completed. So here I've made the restaurant with the outdoor space. Here I have other projects. I went quickly, but yeah, you can do hotels, you can do offices, whatever you want. And in here, this is the same model restaurant with outdoor space. I see the architectural model that it has been made with the IFC Builder. IFC Builder is one app that you can find in the store that is free, and you can create the wall for the architecture, the roof, the slab, the windows, well, everything that has to do with architecture. Then I also have the furniture layer, where here I see the outdoor terrace and the kitchen and the bar and the dining space. And finally, the layer that we just did right now, well, another layer that I did a few days before, but it's the same concept. This is the protection against the COVID-19. And you can see how it match all together into the BIM model in BIM Server Center. Well, this furniture was designed with another app. It's called OpenBIM Residential Furniture, but there are 130 apps, so there are some of them really powerful. And then, so we already have all the design of the protective measurements for this kind of restaurant with the outdoor space, and within the software I can check that there wasn't any problem, or I can maybe, well, if there was a problem, I might have to either put separators or either move the tables farther apart from each other. And well, so this is a little bit what you can do with this new OpenBIM COVID-19 app. Okay, so from my part, I think I'm already done. It was a brief presentation, so I can leave now 10 minutes for some questions if you want. Just let me know if there is some questions, and I will try to answer them all in the best way that I can. Okay, thanks anyone for attending this presentation, and I hope that you have learned a lot, and you have lost the fear to really explore and work in the BIM environment, in BIM Server Center, and also try to redesign the new buildings of the post-pandemic world. Thanks everyone for listening, and bye.